Thank you for joining me today, and I'll be your life coach, conflict analyst. My name is Darian Mason, and today we're going to talk about ego versus intuition, how to tell who's driving your decisions. Being conflicted between ego and intuition, trying to determine which is driving your decisions, is an example of micro-level intrapersonal conflict. That means it's not international or between more than one person, but coming from inside or from self, just like the ego and intuition are. There are subtle ways that the ego masks itself as intuition. Your self-identity or sense of self, which is your ego, wants to appear as if it is intuition, so you can seem more wise, evolved, or even spiritual. Ego's self-importance feature. Ego isn't the opposite of intuition, it's the distorted twin. It uses similar pathways in your brain, the same somatic signals, even the same language structures. That's why gut feelings can betray you when they're really reactions, not revelations, and ego is cunning. It doesn't always come in the form of arrogance or fear. It can come cloaked in spiritual language, in the calm tone of truth, in the rush of a download. When you're realizing things about life from your standpoint and the multifaceted factors of our singularities around you, practically. It can learn your internal language and mimic your soul's voice. Let's define intuition real quick before we go on to more ways in how ego masks itself as intuition and its impact on your decisions. Intuition is the ability to understand or know something immediately, without the need for conscious reasoning or analytical thought. It may not be logical, but it's your gut feeling, your instinct. It's so quick and done without deliberate thinking. It's a guiding force. It can take years to master based on subconscious experience, patterns, or knowledge you've internalized over time. Intuition can align with you like or dislike. Like you're really not feeling like going to a party because there might be a chance that your ex shows up at the same party, and she does. That's your intuition at play. Intuition is not hope. It is not signs. It is not angel numbers. It's not advice from other people. It is definitely not your brain. Fear is not intuition. You've got to be careful that a sense of urgency does not deliver a fear-based decision for inner knowing. Just because your ego pressures you to act now, it does not mean it was a gut instinct. Intuition or your gut feeling needs to feel calm and clear, even in urgency. When you finally begin to see the difference not intellectually, but viscerally, it's like being reborn. There's a quiet joy in realizing your real intuition has no need to persuade, defend, or rush. It simply is. Clear, warm, unattached. Ego often uses fear of failure, judgment, rejection, and dresses it up as cautious intuition, while true intuition feels grounded, even when it's warning you. The ego disguises itself as intuition and is also used for self-serving decisions. When ego masquerades as intuition, it often feels like an unquestionable knowing that others are wrong and you're right, while genuine intuition allows room for humility and nuance. Or, ego might push you towards choices that align with status, admiration, or approval, but claim it's your inner voice guiding you. Real intuition isn't attached to external recognition. Or if a gut feeling makes you feel superior, isolated, or disconnected from others, it may be ego in disguise. Intuition connects and informs without needing separation. Practicing discernment would be a good focus for you. Discernment is the ability to perceive, understand, and judge things clearly and wisely, especially in complex or subtle situations. It involves recognizing the difference between truth and illusion, intuition and ego, right and almost right. Discernment isn't just a skill, it's a spiritual unmasking. Here are 7 ways to practice discernment. 1. Practice stillness and reflection. Spend quiet time regularly, e.g., meditation, journaling, prayer, to learn how your inner voice actually feels. Calm, non-reactive, and grounded. 2. Observe your emotions without judgment. Notice when strong emotions like fear, pride, or desire are influencing your thoughts. Discernment grows when you can pause and say, this might be my ego reacting. 3. Seek contrasting perspectives. Talk to people who think differently. Discernment is sharpened when you can weigh multiple views and still sense what feels authentically true to you. 4. Delay reactivity. Give decisions space to breathe. If a choice feels urgent or emotionally charged, sit with it. Discernment matures with patience. 5. Develop self-awareness. Understand your patterns, biases, and triggers. The more clearly you see yourself, the better you can tell when ego is masquerading as something wiser. 6. Test insights with time. Intuition and discernment often hold up over time. Impulsive or ego-driven decisions tend to lose clarity in hindsight. Learn from both. Says 7. Stay humble and open. Discernment isn't about always being right. It's about being aligned with deeper truth. That requires humility, not certainty. We're going to go on a tangent right now. It's about the worst case scenarios when you are following the wrong internal voice. Often ego masked as intuition can come at a quiet but with a heavy cost. Here are some of the most common and damaging consequences. Misalignment. You may build a life, career, or relationship that looks right externally but feels off inside. Over time, this leads to a sense of emptiness or disconnection from your true path. 2. Repeating painful patterns. Without discernment, you'll likely make the same decisions in different forms, choosing out of fear, pride, or people-pleasing, and wonder why you keep ending up hurt or unfulfilled. 3. Self-betrayal. Choosing ego over intuition slowly erodes your trust in yourself. You feel scattered, indecisive, or overly dependent on others' validation. 4. Burnout and exhaustion. When you chase goals that aren't truly yours, but feel urgent or important due to your ego, you can burn yourself out trying to prove, earn, or control. 5. Shallow satisfaction. Even if you win by ego standards, status, money, attention, it often rings hollow because it wasn't driven by your soul's wisdom. The success doesn't feed you deeply. In short, the wrong inner voice can cost you your peace, purpose, and presence in your own life. So that's all for today, folks. Thanks for joining me on how ego doesn't mask itself as intuition, but can often build your entire identity around the illusion that is your intuition, how discernment helps, and what happens when you follow the wrong internal voice.